7 motorcycles, 2 legendary brands, all under 650 cubic centimeters, and all of them are quietly outselling bikes that cost twice as much. In 2026, riders across America are waking up to something the industry doesn't want to admit. Bigger doesn't always mean better. Here are the 7 Honda and Yamaha machines rewriting the rules right now. Number 7. Honda CB300R. There's a bike sitting in Honda dealerships across America that most riders walk right past. They see 300 cubic centimeters and they keep walking. That's the biggest mistake they'll make this year. The CB300R has a reputation problem. People assume it's a beginner bike, something you ride for 6 months before trading up. That assumption is costing riders thousands of dollars and honestly a lot of fun. Under the skin, the CB300R runs a 286 cubic centimeter single-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine producing around 30 horsepower. That doesn't sound dramatic until you factor in the weight, just 319 pounds fully fueled. The power-to-weight ratio here punches well above what the number on the badge suggests. Honda gave it USD-spec inverted forks, a sharp neo-cafe styling cue, and a ride-by-wire throttle that makes city traffic genuinely enjoyable instead of exhausting. Here's the reality check. Most people miss. American riding rarely demands triple-digit speeds on open highways, and the majority of miles logged in the USA happen on urban grids, canyon back roads, and weekend loops, where a 300cc machine is not just adequate, it's ideal. You're never hunting for gear. You're never fighting the bike. You're just riding. Now let's talk price, because this is where the CB300R becomes almost impossible to ignore. New. It sits around $4,999 to $5,299 MSRP in 2026. Used examples from 2021 to 2024 are regularly selling between $3,200 and $4,000. Why is it so affordable? Because the used market is flooded with them. Riders who bought one as a starter upgraded before they ever scratch the surface of what this bike can do. Their loss is your gain. For a commuter who wants to cut fuel costs, a weekend rider who values flickability over raw power, or anyone tired of dropping a $12,000 machine in a parking lot, the CB300R makes an almost unfair amount of sense. Smart money doesn't always come in a big package. Sometimes it comes in a 286cc Honda with a cafe racer attitude and a price tag that leaves room for gear, mods, and gas for the next 5 years. Number 6. Yamaha MT-03. Most people think they know the MT-03. They've seen it online, maybe sat on one at a dealership and written it off as just a naked 300. Those people are about to be very wrong. The MT-03 carries Yamaha's dark side of Japan DNA, aggressive, compact, and engineered with the same philosophy that built the MT-09 and MT-10. This isn't a scaled-down version of a great bike. In many ways, it is a great bike. Powering the MT-03 is a 321cc parallel twin liquid-cooled engine, and that twin-cylinder configuration changes everything. You get a broader power band, a smoother pull through the rev range, and a character that feels genuinely exciting rather than utilitarian. Output sits around 42 horsepower, which in a 375-pound chassis creates a machine that accelerates with real urgency. Yamaha fitted it with 37mm KYB telescopic forks, a rear monoshock, and 4-piston calipers up front. Stopping hardware that belongs on a much more expensive motorcycle. The reality check here is sharp. At highway speeds, the MT-03 holds 75 miles per hour with room to spare. It's not pretending to be a highway cruiser, but it handles everything most American riders actually need from a weekday commuter or Saturday morning blast without breaking a sweat. On price, new MT-03 units in 2026 are landing at approximately $5,299 to $5,499. Used models from 2019 to 2023 are widely available between $3,500 and $4,500. The reason used prices are this accessible is straightforward. It sits in the same starter perception trap as the CB300R riders move on. Supply stays strong, prices stay honest. For the rider who wants genuine performance character without financing a $10,000 machine, the MT-03 delivers something rare. A motorcycle you won't outgrow emotionally, even after you've outgrown it technically. Yamaha built the MT-03 to be exciting on any road at any speed, and in 2026, that's exactly what the American market is responding to. But the next bike, it has a legacy that goes back decades, and it's more relevant today than ever before. Number 5. Honda CB500F. People who dismiss the CB500F haven't ridden one. People who have ridden one tend to keep one. This machine sits in an awkward middle ground that most buyers overlook. It's too big to be called a beginner bike, too small to be taken seriously by experienced riders, and priced in a range where everyone assumes compromise. The truth is the opposite. The CB500F uses a 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin, liquid-cooled engine producing approximately 47 horsepower and 43 newton meters of torque. Honda has been refining this platform for over a decade, and in 2026 it shows. The engine pulls cleanly from low RPM, has a rev ceiling that encourages spirited riding, and returns fuel economy numbers that regularly hit 70 miles per gallon in real-world use. For context, that's the kind of number that makes a daily commute nearly free compared to anything with four wheels. The chassis is where Honda quietly over-delivered. 41mm Showa SFF-BP forks, a ProLink rear suspension, and a curb weight of just 408 pounds make the CB500F genuinely agile in city environments. It fits a wide range of rider heights, and the ergonomics strike a neutral, upright position that lets you ride for 3 hours without needing to stretch in a parking lot. Reality check. A 2-license compliance in Europe made Honda engineer this platform to an extremely high build standard. American buyers benefit from that same engineering discipline without needing to care about European regulations. You're getting precision that was legally mandated elsewhere, handed to you as a bonus. Pricing tells the real story. New CB500F models in 2026 sit at approximately $6,699 to $6,999. Used examples from 2019 to 2023 regularly land between $4,500 and $5,800. Affordability here comes from volume. Honda has sold enormous numbers of these globally, and the used market reflects that supply. It's not cheap because it's poor quality. It's accessible because Honda built a lot of them and riders move through the market. For the rider who wants one bike that handles commuting, weekend rides, and occasional longer trips without drama, the CB500F is the honest answer that rarely gets the credit it deserves. Some bikes shout. The CB500F simply delivers. Number 4. Yamaha YZ-FR3. There is a full-blooded sport bike in this list, and it costs less than most people spend on a used economy car. The R3 is Yamaha's entry into the supersport world, but calling it an entry-level bike undersells it dramatically. This machine shares its design language directly with the YZ-FR1. The full fairing, the clip-on handlebars, the tucked riding position, none of that is cosmetic theater. It is a genuine sport bike built small, built light, and built to be fast in the ways that matter on real roads. The engine is a 321cc parallel twin, liquid-cooled unit producing around 42 horsepower. The same basic motor as the MT-03, but tuned differently. The R3's state of tune prioritizes top-end power over mid-range torque, giving it a more aggressive power delivery that rewards riders who push into the rev range. Matched to a 6-speed gearbox with a slipper clutch standard since 2019, gear changes at pace are smooth and confidence-inspiring. At 368 pounds wet, the R3 is exceptionally light for a fully faired machine. That lightness translates directly into corner speed. It turns quickly, holds a line predictably, and communicates through the handlebars in a way that builds rider confidence faster than most sport bikes twice its price. Track day riders in the USA have been running R3s in MCRA and WERA classes for years, not because they had to, but because the bike is genuinely competitive. Price reality. New 2026 YZF-R3 models are priced around $5,299 to $5,499. The used market is rich, with 2018 to 2023 examples commonly selling between $3,800 and $5,000. Values remain stable here, unlike some beginner bikes that collapse in resale, because the R3 has a genuine enthusiast following that maintains demand. It's affordable not because it's forgotten, but because Yamaha priced it intentionally to compete with imports and offer accessible sport bike ownership. If you've ever wanted the sport bike experience without the sport bike payment plan, the R3 makes that deal available right now. The next 3 bikes are where things get really interesting, and the value only gets harder to ignore. Number 3. Honda CB650R. Everyone talks about the CB1000R. Nobody talks about the CB650R. That is a mistake that is actively costing riders money in 2026. The CB650R sits at the top of Honda's Neo Sports Cafe family, and it carries itself with a confidence that makes you forget the price tag within the first 5 minutes of riding. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't need to. The quality speaks before the engine even fires. Under that sculpted tank lives a 649 cubic centimeters inline 4-cylinder engine. And yes, a 4-cylinder under 650 cubic centimeters is exactly as special as it sounds. Honda extracts approximately 95 horsepower from this unit, paired with a smooth, linear torque curve that makes the power accessible rather than intimidating. The inline-4 character delivers a mechanical soundtrack that flat twin and parallel twin bikes simply cannot replicate. It sings through the rev range in a way that makes every ride feel like an occasion. Chassis hardware is genuinely premium. Showa separate function. Big piston forks up front, a ProLink rear monoshock, and Nissan 4-piston radial mount calipers biting 310mm discs. Honda also included a 2-channel IMU-assisted ABS system and a Honda selectable torque control system. Rider aids that you'd normally associate with motorcycles costing significantly more. The build quality, fit, and finish on the CB650R consistently draws comparisons to European bikes at double the price point. Reality check for the skeptics: this is not a middleweight pretending to be something bigger. The CB650R genuinely competes with naked bikes in the $12,000 to $15,000 category on every metric that matters: feel, finish, performance, and daily usability. Honda priced it where they did because the 650cc segment is their volume sweet spot, not because they cut corners to get there. Pricing in 2026. New CB650R models are landing at approximately $8,999 to $9,499. Used examples from 2019 to 2023 are widely available between $6,500 and $8,000. The used market here is accessible because early adopters who wanted the inline-4 experience have since moved to the CB1000R or other flagships, leaving behind near-perfect low-mileage examples at honest prices. For the rider who wants European cafe racer emotion with Japanese reliability and a price that doesn't require a second mortgage, the CB650R is the answer the market keeps overlooking. 4 cylinders, under 650 cubic centimeters, under $10,000. The math doesn't lie. But the next bike has a fan base so loyal it borders on obsession, and there's a very good reason for that. Number 2. Yamaha MT-07. If there is one motorcycle on this entire list that experienced riders quietly recommend above everything else, it is this one. The Yamaha MT-07 has been called the best all-around motorcycle in the world at its price point. And after riding one, very few people argue with that. The MT-07 is powered by Yamaha's 689cc CP2 parallel twin engine, a cross-plane concept motor that produces around 73 horsepower and an exceptionally strong 68 Newton-meters of torque. What makes this engine legendary isn't the peak numbers, it's the delivery. The CP2 architecture gives the MT-07 a firing interval that mimics a V-twin's character, a pulsing, organic feel that makes city riding engaging and mountain road riding genuinely thrilling. It pulls hard from 3,000 RPM and keeps building all the way to redline without a flat spot in sight. The chassis is where Yamaha made every right decision. At just 404 pounds wet, the MT-07 is lighter than many 400cc machines. That weight combined with a 41mm KYB telescopic fork, aluminum swing arm, and a low 31.7-inch seat height creates a motorcycle that fits riders of almost any size and experience level. It turns with sport bike quickness, but forgives like a middleweight naked. That balance is extraordinarily rare and extraordinarily difficult to engineer. Reality check: the MT-07 has been on sale in its current form since 2014, with meaningful updates along the way. That longevity is not a sign of stagnation. It is proof that Yamaha got the formula right the first time and has been refining perfection ever since. Moto journalists consistently place it on best of lists year after year because the fundamentals are simply correct. New 2026 MT-07 pricing sits at approximately $7,999 to $8,499. Used models from 2015 to 2023 are available across the USA between $5,000 and $7,500, with well-maintained low-mileage examples at the lower end of that range regularly appearing. The used market is abundant because the MT-07 sells in massive volume. Riders move up, move sideways, and trade frequently, keeping supply healthy and prices fair. For the rider who wants one motorcycle that does everything well and nothing poorly, the MT-07 is the closest thing to a perfect answer that exists in 2026. Some bikes are popular. The MT-07 is respected. There is a difference. And riders who know. And now, the number one spot. This is the bike that is genuinely changing how Americans think about what a motorcycle needs to be in 2026. Number 1. Honda CB650F. This is the bike that ends the argument. The CBR 650R, or its naked sibling, the CB650F, represents Honda's most complete package under 650 cubic centimeters. And in 2026, it has become the standard against which every other motorcycle in this displacement class is measured. Not by magazines, by actual riders in actual dealerships, making actual purchasing decisions with their own money. The engine is the same 649cc inline-4 from the CB650R, but in the CBR 650R it lives inside a full sport bike fairing with a more aggressive state of tune. Output climbs to approximately 95 horsepower with a character that rewards throttle use and punishes laziness. The four-cylinder note through the exhaust is not just pleasant, it is addictive. Riders who spend a week with this engine find parallel twins noticeably less interesting afterward. That is not an exaggeration. It is a consistently reported experience from owners across the country. Honda equipped the CBR 650R with Showa S FFF-BP forks, radial mount Nissan calipers, Honda selectable torque control, and a 2-channel ABS system with an IMU. The riding position is sporty without being punishing, a genuinely usable sport position that allows comfortable 200-mile days without arriving at the destination broken. At 419 pounds wet, it is light enough to feel nimble in corners and planted enough to feel confident at highway speeds. Reality check for everyone waiting on a leader bike. The CBR 650R will outrun your ego on any road that isn't a closed straight. On twisty canyon roads, the roads most American sport riders actually ride. This motorcycle is faster than almost anything because it keeps you in the power band, in control, and in confidence. Speed that you can actually use beats peak speed you can only access twice per ride. Pricing in 2020. 6. New CBR 650R models sit at approximately $9,199 to $9,699. Used examples from 2019 to 2023 regularly trade between $6,800 and $8,500. Values hold stronger here than almost any other bike in this segment because demand remains consistently high. Even the used market cannot keep clean examples available for long. It is affordable relative to its capability, not relative to its quality. Those are two very different things. For the rider who wants the full sport bike experience, the sound, the speed, the feel, the prestige, without crossing into territory that requires a large loan or a full racing license to enjoy. The CBR 650R is the singular answer in 2026. Honda built this motorcycle for people who are serious about riding. And in America, more people are becoming serious every single day. This is not just the best Honda under 650 cubic centimeters. This is the benchmark. Full stop. From 300cc to 649cc, Honda and Yamaha have quietly built the most compelling motorcycle lineup in America right now, and most riders are still sleeping on it. In 2026, the smartest purchase on two wheels doesn't cost $15,000. It costs half that. Subscribe for more honest motorcycle content and watch the next video before you make your next decision.